Hey guys, Keith Engel, TGI Sports Talk. How are you today? We're live from the Carnival Spirit. Not sure how good our connection is. If somebody pops in, they can certainly let me know. Rick Sherlock just asked me if we're going live at all today, and I thought I'd pop in for just a little bit. Talk a little bit about college football yesterday. It's a little noisy here, so I don't know how much we'll talk about what, but we'll probably go live again today, maybe even tomorrow, to kind of cover the weekend sports for an hour or so. Not sure how long you guys will be able to do that. So, in any event, an eventful day yesterday in sports with college football, Major League Baseball. Uh, got the pros coming up today. Baseball, look at Yankees have put themselves in a horrible spot, right? The Phillies beat the Braves, knocked them out. Padres, God forbid, I got to listen to Mark Mancini now. Padres knocked the Dodgers out. And as I said, the Yankees are on the precipice of being out tonight. And what else? Oh, God, how do I forget? An 18-inning, 1-0 game. I left the Baltimore airport about, I don't know, 7:30. The game was in the eighth inning. Game was still going on when I got home. Got to Miami and into the hotel. They played two complete games. So very interesting day in sports. Obviously, in college football, I'm trying to remember again. I don't have any notes in front of me, so we're going to kind of wing it. Alabama gets beat by Tennessee in a barn burner, 52-49. I wouldn't doubt to see Tennessee in the top four this week. Penn State, James Franklin shows his true colors. I said he cannot beat Michigan and Ohio State when they're good. He can't beat anybody when they're good. 2-18 now. 2-18 now in game 2-19. Sorry, in games against top 10 teams. This is my problem with James Franklin. Alan, good morning, Alan. Good to see you with us. Yes, Utah beat USC. I got into the hotel in time to see the end of this game. Another barn burner. USC took the lead late. Utah goes down the field, scores, and a very gutsy call by Whittingham. They go for two. They don't want to go to overtime. They go for two and win the game by 1 point over USC in a great game. Probably won't hurt USC too much. That's a tough game for them yesterday. TCU remains unbeaten. The game I had bet and actually still come away a winner. Even Oklahoma State have been leading most of that game. They do end up covering with the overtime win. What else happened yesterday? You guys can help me out a little bit. Helicopter driving over. A little cocktail. Trying to think. Syracuse, by the way. Not the biggest game of the weekend, obviously. Syracuse, though, at home beats North Carolina State. Handled 27-9, maybe. Georgia rolls for Rick Sherlock. Georgia rolls over Vanderbilt as it should. Ole Miss with a nice win over Auburn. Trying to think where else. I sat in the bar in Albany with an Alabama fan. Certainly filling me in on how the SEC is so much better. It's the only football conference in the country. And look, as I say in the college football huddle, it's very good, but it's not. The only place there's good football being played. Sorry. Miss gets by Auburn. What should have been a blowout. It should have been a blowout. I don't disagree, but you're going to have these games, right? We talk about it all the time. How much did the games that were close for Alabama and Georgia hurt them? They drop one spot when they have a bad game. Ole Miss is a good football team, guys. Auburn was up for the game, played well, and Ole Miss probably didn't play as well as they could at home. Trying to think where else. Texas wins. Kansas and Oklahoma. Interesting game there. I thought Kansas was going to get blown out yesterday without their quarterback. They do end up losing by 10. They were very fought hard in that game. What else do we have going on in college football? It's hard for me when I don't have screens in front of me where I can just look at the scores. We had Clemson and Florida State last night. I didn't even see the final there. I think Clemson won that game. They'll stay in the top four. I think Tennessee will move in. What else we had going? Sorry, just looking for my wife to come back. She's looking to change our dinner arrangements. And I got to look for a place to find a Patriot game here in a little bit. So Clemson won by 10-ish, Alan says. Thank you, Alan. So they'll stay there. Well, Alan, help me out with some other scores yesterday. Is that I've kind of reviewed them a little bit this morning, and now I'm having a brain fart. Had about 12 beers in 2 different airports yesterday. And took us about 16 hours to get from Albany to Miami yesterday, with delays and misconnections and whatever else. So I'm trying to think. I'm going through the conferences. So I think UCLA was. I don't remember UCLA score as I go through the Pac-12, the Big 12. I talked about Oklahoma. I talked about TCU. We talked about Kansas. Tough loss for Oklahoma State yesterday, by the way. Oklahoma State leading this game pretty handily most of the day, 30-13 at one point. They ended up going to overtime, losing by 3. Rick does talk about how about them dogs. They played very well. And how about Mark Mancini? You know what? I'm never going to live this down. I'm going to have to listen to him for another week, putting posts up. You know what? I love Mark. Mark's a good guy, but and the Padres beat the Dodgers. God bless them. But there's no logical reason to have picked the Padres to beat them other than you just hate the team. And I'm never going to just rag on a team that I hate. I mean, I root for them. You know, and I do this a lot, and I try to stay objective. And this is Mark's shtick. I get it. And God bless him for it. But now I'm going to have to listen to him talk about the Padres. He'll probably talk about how he had the Phillies, and if the Yankees lose to the Indians tonight, then God forbid what's going to happen here. It's an ugly game. By the way, I know we're all over the place today, but this is our stream of consciousness, and we're only going to go for another, we'll probably only go for half an hour or so. But I did want to touch in with you guys, and maybe we'll do something later if I have some time and I'm sober enough. Brett Boone, Aaron Boone, you don't go to your closer in this game. Your closer sits out there, and you say you were trying to protect him because he didn't want to pitch 2 nights in a row. This is the playoffs, guys. It's similar to what I talked about with Buck and DeGrom. Don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about today. And the Yankees end up losing this game, and they don't get the closer in the game. Buck Showalter learned that lesson years ago when he had Baltimore and they didn't get Zach Britton in the game that they lost. It was crazy. What's the hell I'm talking about here? First time the Yankees ever lost a playoff game where they led multiple times. You know why? You know who was pitching most of those ninth-inning games, right? Or a lot of them, I should say. One Mariano Rivera. But it's inexcusable. I'm telling you right now, if the Yankees go out to the Indians in this first round, Aaron Boone has got to go. 2 seasons of 100 wins, 99 wins this year. Gets into the playoffs here. He's got a chance to win this game. Never gets his closer in the game. Horrendous management. I know he's, got his one arm tied behind his back a little bit with his pitching staff. And the Yankees are in trouble. If they win tonight, I don't know what they're doing in Game 5. It's going to be a bullpen game. Cortez can't start, and if he does, he's going to go an inning or 2. So it's going to be, got to get by tonight. And by the way, Aaron, all hands on deck. Don't worry about Game 5. Win Game 4, or it won't matter. Oh, listen, I had to. What will be worse, listening to Jamie talk about the Phillies? I couldn't get on the Mac and Jack show this morning. I had some problems from the hotel. And Pags is certainly going on about the Phillies a little bit, going on about the Eagles and Cowboys, which, Alan, I'm sure you probably heard some of that. Look at it. You win, you got a chance to go. It's your team. And, Rick, you had an interesting comment, by the way, when you mentioned saying we, and Jim Jeffcoat of the people. If I was on there, I would have certainly commented it. I don't disagree with you that Jim, of all the people, has the best chance. Best opportunity to say we, or the most right to say we. But I will tell you that this is the way I feel. If I've invested thousands of dollars in tickets and maybe tens of thousands of dollars in tickets and wearables and everything else, I can say we. I've earned that right. But Jim Jeffcoat definitely has earned a moral right to say we than anyone. Mark Mancini has, again, I'm going to get on Mark when I see him, and it won't be for a little while. Stop saying we when you're talking about the Padres. You're not even a Padre fan. You're just an anti-Dodger fan. So please don't say we. In that case, you shouldn't be saying we, for sure. Well, it depends on who we're talking about, right? In the Cowboys, if you're talking about people who are just rooting for teams, Rick, if you say we with Georgia, I have no problem with that. You're a longtime fan. You've invested a great deal of emotional um, uh, into the games. Probably, as I said, a great deal into if not tickets, then wearables. If you spend a lot of time doing that type of thing, you got a right to say we. But don't just pick up a team in the middle of playoffs and start saying we when we're talking about San Diego. You know, a team gets to the Super Bowl and you're backing them and you say we. You're not a we. You know. So again, you get to say we for the Vikings. You get to say we for the Bulldogs. Now again, in a conversation with a guy who actually played, he's certainly more we than I am, right? So that's my only point there. So it'll be a little tough talking to these guys next week for sure. I don't know if I have any. I guess I could put this up here. So again, we're live from the port, with the Carnival Port, where the hell? Where I'm in Miami, the Miami Port of Call, right? So we'll be leaving here at 4 o'clock, heading for destinations unknown in the Caribbean. Trying to figure out where I'm going to watch the Patriot game. My wife is checking out some dining room stuff, and probably my guess is as long as it's taking her, she is looking for a place to watch the game. And if not, I've got an app, and I might share this, guys. Maybe I should share it with you guys. Rick, you might be interested in that. I don't know if you have the ticket or not, but we found an app last week. Oh, crap. Hang on, guys. Don't go away. Don't go away. I might pop off for a second, but I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had an important call. My wife's trying to make some arrangements. Hope you guys are still here. What was I talking about? How about some stuff today? What do you got here, Rick? Alan's got something. Big 12 close to finalizing the 14 teams. You know what? I don't know that it means that much, though, Alan. As I said, these things with the changes in the playoffs coming in 24 now, possibly, and I know they're talking about a 23 games or 14 team schedule in 23 and 24, but you don't know that Texas and Oklahoma is still going to be there in 24. Don't hang your hat on these schedules, guys. Anything can be changed, anything can be blown up in a hurry. So don't get too used to it. How's our feed, by the way, Rick? Usually tell me. It looks good on my end, but I really can't tell how it's streaming. So if it's really bad, we don't go through that. You actually can use we on a podcast. Absolutely. Now, you're right. If I'm talking to Jim Jeffcoat and I'm talking about the Cowboys and I'm a Cowboy fan, I might even say if Alan's in a conversation with Jim Jeffcoat, you can still say we. On my podcast, you can. You can for the Vikings. You can for the Bulldogs. But I don't. What I have a problem with is bandwagon jumpers who just hate the Dodgers and they're going to jump on Padres. If you've seen any of Mark's posts this week, it's constantly we. He's a Pirate fan. That's his we. So. Oh, you've had the ticket since its inception. I had it for a while, but we go out for most of the games. So we did find a really good, and it had a really good feed too. So, no, I am drinking right now a rum runner. Actually, no, this is a fun chip cocktail. I'm waiting for somebody to come by. I'll get myself a rum runner after this. So, got started a little later today. It was a long day yesterday, so. Again, let me know how the feed is, Rick. We can talk about anything you guys want to talk about for the next, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Again, it was a pretty crazy day. Nobody playing defense anywhere in college football, it seems. I'm really impressed, as I said at the top of the show. I don't know how many of you guys were here, but I was really impressed with Syracuse yesterday. You know, Syracuse has got themselves in play. They're going to get killed by Clemson probably, but they got themselves in play to be second place in that Atlantic Division. And that might get them a New Year's Day bowl. Who knows? So very good turnaround for the Orangemen. I was kind of going through the conferences, trying to remember who the heck was playing who yesterday. I had a pretty good handle on it until I started having a couple of cocktails here. So I'd love you guys to kind of throw some stuff at me, and we can kind of just rip off of that today. Again, whether it's baseball, football, games today. How about the games today? I don't have our picks in front of us, so I can tell you. I will tell you my cigar box wagers. By the way, 6 for my last 6 in college. So I had Oklahoma State yesterday +4. I had USC +3.5, and I had Kentucky all getting points, and Kentucky won outright. Today I bet the Pats +3. I bet the Vikings, Rick, minus. I want to say -2. I thought that's a steal. Skylar Thompson playing quarterback for the Dolphins. And also Kansas City getting points at home. I know Buffalo is really good, and I've been really touting them myself, but you give me the Chiefs and points at home, I have no choice but to bet that game. So. Perfect seed, nice. Tricky Nicky. How about who's Tricky Nicky? What's it? What is that one? By the way, very funny this morning when Jack talked about Winky Martindale. That's awesome. Anyway, the Giants in the Wink Martindale Bowl this week against the Ravens. I like the Giants. I didn't bet them, but I like the Giants at home getting 5.5, playing good. How am I the only guy? And I've said this a couple of times. I said it on the show with Carlos on Friday. But how am I the only guy sticking up for the progress that 2 teams I absolutely hate are making? They've done great things. Daniel Jones has played tremendous. Are his numbers tremendous? No. But he's let 3 come from behind victories. They're not asking him to do things that he can't do, and he's taking care of the football. You know, what more can you ask for crying out loud, right? Skylar Thompson makes his first NFL start. So far, some guys have done pretty well here. Cooper Rush, I think, he had not started for his first start this year. We all know about Bailey Zappi. And by the way, speaking of Zappi, unless it's happened in the last couple hours, this morning, Mac Jones was questionable but was going to test his ankle this morning. No reason to play Mac Jones unless he's 100% healthy. And by the way, there's no quarterback controversy as of yet in New England. So people are, including Mac and the Mac and Jack show, have done a pretty good job of trying to create one. But can Bailey Zappi make more than one start before we anoint him the next Tom Brady? 49ers upset. 49ers get upset. They're playing, who are they playing? The Panthers today? No, who are they playing? Al, I don't have it right in front of me. And I know you're going to take the Cowboys. That's going to be a tough game. Nick Saban. You know what? He's probably upset. This Tennessee team is really good. Not crazy about their defense yesterday. But they showed a lot of moxie because they blew a pretty good-sized lead. Alabama went ahead. A lot of previous Tennessee teams would have folded up right then and there. And this team was very resilient and came back and won this game. Great job. Neil Bush, how are you, Neil? Good to see you. We're down here waiting to cruise today and just coming on for a little bit. I should have gone live on Roku now that I think about it, but I didn't. What's Neil got here? The Giants are due for a collapse. Man, Neil, aren't you a Giant fan? You're a Jet fan, I'll bet. Listen, both the Jets, I don't understand. I'm not saying they won't collapse, right? But for Jet and Giant fans, and again, Neil, I'm not. Oh, you're a Cowboy fan, right? I don't remember. Sorry. Giants, look at they could collapse. I do not see this team collapsing. I said Alan knows. I said they would finish second in this division with 9 wins, and I think they still have a shot to do that. So could they collapse? Absolutely. They now have a crystal ball for sure. So playing good football though. Prescott's the same questionable, but likely not playing. I don't see. Whoops. Sorry, I got a little hit the wrong button there. I don't see Mac Jones playing today either, for sure. Panthers at Rams. That's right. I kind of like the Rams. I didn't bet them. Oh, 49ers at Falcons. It's like the Falcons to beat the 49ers. Say, listen, I'm not in love with it. I'm not in love with the 49ers either or Jimmy G, but I just don't see him beating this Atlanta team. They're just not any good right now. Can UT beat Georgia? I'm going to tell you yes. I know Rick's going to tell you no. This is a huge game. It's going to be very interesting to see Tennessee and Georgia battling it out for that South. Is that South? I don't know whether division. Their division anyway. You know, you're looking. That's a game for all the marbles, probably, for a right to go to the SEC championship game and be alive for the national championship playoff. Rick will say this again. Your wife's a saint. She probably is. She is a saint. I shouldn't say she probably is. She's probably spending your money on your pocket. No, she might be. But there's no shops open or anything. Unless you're drinking right now, it's hard to spend money on the shift because when you're in port, nothing's open. I know she's trying to work on some stuff for our dinner reservations that she's not terribly happy with. So we'll see how she makes out there. You're right. She is a saint. I'll give you that, Rick. She put up with me yesterday. I got drunk twice yesterday in 2 different airports. So we had a lot of fun. I got to tell you guys, another free piece of advertising. I got to start charging these people. But if you're ever in the Baltimore airport, I think they're in Pittsburgh. They might be in Atlanta. But there's a place called the Silver Diner. And it's far from a diner. There's a diner part of it. There's a bar, basically a sports bar with TVs all over the place, games all over, and a deli. And the food was awesome. They got a great selection of beer. The bartender was tremendous. And we had a great time spending about 5 hours in Baltimore yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Alan, Neil's a Cowboys fan. That's what I thought. Once I ran through 5 other teams, Neil, I narrowed it down to the Cowboys. Sorry that you're a Cowboys fan. I really feel for you. And eventually Jerry Jones will pass on and you guys will be fine. So, Johnny Doviak with us this morning. Johnny can't comment. Where's Johnny on YouTube? I don't know. Johnny will comment when I post things on TGI Sports Talk, but not my own spot. So, Johnny, welcome to the show this morning. We're just chatting up a little bit, having some fun for a little bit before I have to mosey on. Hey, Augustine, how are you today? Good to see you. Not sure how your Ducks did yesterday. I hope they did okay. Not out of the realm of possibility, Neil. Tennessee versus Ole Miss. You know what? Ole Miss is going to give Alabama a run. And I don't even know how the tiebreaker. Well, I guess the tiebreaker would be if Alabama beats Ole Miss and they both end up with 1 loss. I guess Alabama would win that tiebreaker. But look at Ole Miss could probably beat. I'm thinking they could beat Alabama. Tennessee has shown yesterday all things are possible. I get both New York teams on local TV today. That usually never happens. That is a little odd for Oklahoma, for sure. I would think you're at a Cowboy market. Well, they're the Sunday night game, so that's probably why you don't get them, obviously. And I don't know who else you would probably get. I don't know who your secondary market is there. I'll have another. Yeah. Hang on, guys. I got to get a cocktail. You're live on the air right now. You want to say hi? Hello. Thank you, bud. So, where was Augustin, lucky, yeah, listen. Augustin, the Yankees' backs are to the wall tonight. I talked about this a little bit before. Aaron Boone needs to go. Neil, I don't know if you're here. Uh, Aaron Boone not getting to his closer in that game last night is just inexcusable. I don't care what he's got to say in the aftermath that he's protecting the pitcher. If he's worried about losing him for tonight, I don't care. You got to win the game in front of you. I said this a couple of times now during his playoff, just these playoffs, not just for the Yankees. I said it for the Mets when Buck talked about not pitching to Grom in Game 2 if they won. It's stupid. You have to win the game in front of you. That's it. And if Aaron Boone loses, if the Yankees lose this series, Aaron Boone needs to be history. USC Oregon next week, big game. Listen, I don't think USC loses a lot. We just lost to Utah last night. They played well in a tough place to play. Utah's a good football team, despite their performance against UCLA a week ago. I still like this team a lot. I should probably check my text here in a second. I'm going to probably have to pop off real quick, but I'll come back in a second, I promise you. We can do a couple of these. Tight end and that's tight end Colonials history. John Dobiak, absolutely. I will second that. And, I keep seeing guys, and I know this is a little off the beaten track, and Rick, you can help me out. I don't think Johnny's in the semi-pro Hall of Fame, whatever we call it. Pictures of my granddaughter. That's cute. I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame. I see guys, some well-deserving guys, Joe Hall, Harry Robinson, and some other guys. But how's Johnny not in the Hall of Fame? How's that? If he's not, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe he is. My waiter thinks I'm talking to myself here. He thinks I've lost my mind. There you go, bud. Thank you. So anyway, help me out with that, guys, and let's start a campaign. Let's find out what we have to do to get him in there. Secondary market's KC, and that game is nationwide. That's a good point. Who needs to go? Last night, absolutely, that game was on him last night. You cannot blow that. Listen, they can lose the game, Neil. Okay? I mean, I don't have a problem if they end up losing the game. But you don't lose the game with your best bullpen pitcher. You're theoretically your closer not even getting in the game. Plus some other odd stuff. Getting the Giants because of the Cowboys market. Okay, good. Anyway, what else? What time is it? 12:43. We'll go for a few more minutes. What other games? That Bills Chiefs game should be a real barn burner today. And by the way, going back to John Dobiak, please, John, speak up. Let me know because I'll start a ground roots campaign to get you in this Hall of Fame because you should be there, especially with some of the other people that I see that are in there. Not the ones I mentioned. I mean, the guys that I know from the Colonials, certainly well deserved. But some of the people that I've seen, if you're not in, I don't understand how that is. Where am I here? Lost track of where I was in my comments. Yeah, Boone needs to go. No. Rick's talking about Bobby. Oh, I'm sorry, Bobby. Bobby's his brother. Talking about Johnny. He's not. Neither is it. Well, how is your brother Bob not in either? I mean, come on. Who makes these nominations? We got to get this taken care of. Rick, reach out to me. Let's figure out how we get this done and get them both in. How about you get them both in together? How appropriate would that be? Bobby and Johnny going together, right? Can you think of a better situation? Let's figure out a way to get that done. Tell me what we need to do, and I'm on board with you. Does Boone know that what a defensive replacement is? Well, problem is I don't know if he's got those guys on his bench. DJ's hurt. Who's he going to put in defensively? Where? Again, I didn't see the end of the game, Neil, so I'm not sure what happened on defense that has that comment coming up, and he can feel free to elaborate. Again, I was on a plane during a lot of that game. I got to believe you're probably talking about Donaldson, but we'll find out whether that's the case. Rangers talking to Bruce Bochy. Now, that'd be a great move for the Rangers. All the guys you've been throwing at me, Alan, or we've talked about, Bruce Bochy's a proven winner. I'm surprised that he wants to come back at this point in his life. But some guys have it in their blood, and he is a great, great choice for the Rangers, absolutely. What's this week or last week? Oh, Ducks on a bye week. That's what I thought. I think UCLA was as well. Fun trip, Canton for the first. That'd be awesome. Wouldn't it? I'd be in for that. Let's figure out how to get this done. He needed Gonzalez or Hicks. Hicks is a terrible one. But Cabrera's played well in the outfield. You know, I don't know. Look at you know me. I'm no Aaron Boone fan. I'm not sure I can get on him for that. Hicks has been awful in the outfield. And I don't know that Gonzalez is any better than Cabrera out there. I think Cabrera's played some pretty decent defense. So if those are my only options, I'm kind of screwed. Not having Benintendi on this roster has really kind of limited the bench here. You know, or DJ, by the way. So again, this is not a good spot, and this isn't a good look for Boone. I don't know, guys. We'll stay here for just a couple more minutes, and I got to figure out what to do for the Patriot game. I got to try to get it on my phone, or whether I'm going to go find a bar that has it on. So we'll see. Illinois beating Minnesota, a really good Minnesota team yesterday. That's a good catch right there. The Big Ten, Ohio State and Michigan are obviously the best two teams in the league. We already, again, Penn State and James Franklin exposed again, 2-19 against top 10 teams. This is my problem. I've said it all along. Case closed. James Franklin doesn't beat good teams, especially Michigan and Ohio State when they're good. Just a horrendous effort from Penn State yesterday. Awful. I talked about Kentucky earlier. I actually bet Kentucky. And, you know, I feel about this Kentucky team and Mark Stoops. And Mark Stoops getting talked about for some of these job openings that are starting to happen. I don't know that he wants to leave Kentucky. He's built something really, really good and sustained there now. Whether he can sustain it over a long period of time is still, you know, up for debate. But, you know, great job out of Mark Stoops and Alabama, or Mark Stoops and Kentucky. And Will Levis, by the way, is playing on the next level. You heard Peyton Manning say it yesterday on game day. You try near. I want them to advance around. Yes. Obviously, I want them to advance around. And, you know, it's all hands on deck tonight, guys. Somebody sent Aaron Boone a note, tell them if they lose tonight, they go home. So let's not worry about tomorrow night. Let's worry about tonight. And everybody needs to be available to pitch. There's nothing left in the bag tonight. Worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a problem either way. No matter what they do, tomorrow's pitchers are going to be an issue. So we'll see how that goes tonight. And let's get the Yankees home, I guess. Then I'm all for that. So listen, and during the week, guys, we'll be live a couple of times. I might do another spot. I doubt I'll get one in today. But maybe tomorrow we'll do something quick to wrap up the weekend. Wednesday at some point, Wednesday or Thursday, I'll do a college football huddle. It probably won't be an hour and a half, but it'll be kind of flying by the seat of my pants. But we'll do one. So set your alerts. If you don't have the alert set for TGI Sports Talk when we go live, and I think you guys probably mostly do, please do so you'll know when I do go live. And I'll probably go live with a vlog on Friday. I'll do something for Are You Serious sometime Friday. Short, probably not long shows, but we'll get some time in and we'll do that. So we're going to have a great week here in the Caribbean, but I love to touch base with you guys, and it's a lot of fun for me to do the shows from out here. Alan, the same thing that has killed the Yankees all season. Good pitching and complimentary hitting. Well, it's not just this season, Alan. About 6 seasons. I've been watching the same thing. It's like watching the same movie over and over again. And just like I said with Scherzer and the Mets, this is what Garrett Cole gets big money for. He came through in game one, pitched a great game. He needs to carry the load tonight, bail his offense out a little bit. Maybe they can get themselves right. And by the way, Yankee fans, stop booing it. And I know they won't boo him tonight because they're not there, but stop booing Aaron Judge. That's ridiculous. Right. No, I guess she's got to wait for somebody at 1 o'clock to kind of get what we're looking for. So we'll see how that goes. You're right, though. I might better check my sign and sale card, see where she is. She could be in a bar drinking Manhattan for all I know. But thank you. We're gonna have a great trip here. PJ Walker starting in Carolina. Oh my God. Who's playing them? The Rams? I can't believe I didn't lay the 9.5 there. If the Rams were playing just a smidge better, I'd have bet that game. But my wagers are in now. So I guess we're locked in. And I gave you my wagers. So we're making a little run. We got buried early in the cigar box. And it's 12:52, so we're going to go in a minute. We got buried early. Last 2 weeks, getting close. After yesterday, I'm exactly even in the cigar box after an atrocious first 4 weeks. Well, I guess 4 or 5 weeks if you count the week 0 in college. So starting to roll now after we get a few games and start to kind of figure out who's good and who isn't. But we're having a lot of fun with that. And I'll keep you abreast of that. Guys, good luck for your picks this week in TGI Sports Talk School. Hopefully you got them all in. I'm not doing very well there, but hopefully we'll make a run there as well. So, guys, it's been fun this morning. I'm glad I could get in and do a little bit and chat with you guys. Congratulations to your teams, Alan, Rick, Neil, Augustin. Thanks for popping in and commenting and helping me fill this time because I wasn't sure what I was going to be talking about. But I've had a blast. And we'll be talking to you guys periodically throughout the week. So hang in there. I'll see you unless I get stranded on a desert island somewhere and decide not to come home. If I do, I'll let somebody know so you guys aren't sitting looking for it. Keith Engel, TGI Sports Talk. You guys have a great Sunday. Good luck to your teams this weekend. Bye-bye.